So today my plan is to discuss a little bit about cybercrime and related incidents of it. And latter part of the lecture, let's review a little bit about cyber laws in Sri Lanka. Then you can get idea what kind of legal systems are established within the Sri Lanka to prevent cyber related crimes. Okay. So now let's start the lecture, cybercrime. And also today I will uh, explain about your first assessment. It will be related to the computer crime related content, and later within the lecture I will explain that one also, the first assessment. 20 marks will allocate for it. Okay. Cybercrime. So first let's learn what is actually cybercrime and why people try to attempt these type of things with another person's computer, another person's network devices, or other related equipment or systems. So here I have added a definition for cybercrime. I hope you can see it. Cybercrime refers to criminal activities that are carried out using computers, networks, and the internet. It involves the use of technology to commit various illegal acts or to the target individuals, organizations, or computer systems. So this is one of the proper definition for cybercrime. So by reading this, you can get a clear idea. It's a illegal activity carried out using computers, mobile devices, network equipment, and via the internet. And they are targeting individuals, organizations, and computer systems. And these criminals employ different type of technique to carry out their attack. Exploiting vulnerabilities in computers, that means hacking, networks, software, and open with to intend to gain unauthorized access, steal sensitive information, disrupt the services using denial of service attack, or cause harm. So these are the end goal of the criminals who carry out these type of attacks. Gain unauthorized access to a system, privilege escalation, yes, then steal sensitive information, industrial espionage, sensitive information, disrupting the services using denial of services attack and distribute denial of service. Now the ransomware also very popular with these disrupting services. Once the information encrypted, companies can't recover very quickly if they couldn't back up their data. So disrupting the services. Cyber criminals. And again, when it comes to cybercrime, we can divide in two main areas. The first one is the computer as a target. Computer as a target. Computer will be a victim here. Okay? Computer as a target. Computer is the victim for sophisticated attack. This type of cybercrime involves using a computer to attack other computers or network. Here I have added a couple of examples also. The popular ones are hacking, virus, or worm attacks, or the malicious programs, and denial of service attack, disrupting the services. So please remember the first category, computer as a target or computer is the victim here. Hackers or cyber criminals try to attack another computers or networks using hacking methods, malicious program, ransomwares, or distributor denial of service attacks. These are the popular techniques coming under the computer as targeted cyber crimes. The second category is computer as a weapon or computer aided crime. So here, they are using a computer to commit real world crimes. Computer aided crime. The previous one, computer targeted the crime. The computer is the victim, hacking, malicious program, denial of services. So clearly identify the difference between these two. Okay, computer as target, computer as a weapon, or computer computer aided crime. We can simply say computer aided crime. Cyber criminals use a computer to commit real world crimes. Cyber terrorism, intellectual property violation, credit card fraud, electronic transaction, fund transfer fraud, and child pornography. These are the popular or most commonly used cyber related crimes that come under the computer as a weapon or computer aid crimes. So for this slide, I added all the things that you need to remember, you need to know related to cyber crime. So once I complete the lecture, please go through with this lecture slide because it's very important to know these things now, because in Sri Lanka also we can hear lot of cybersecurity related incidents day by day. So you need to have an idea as a cybersecurity student or upcoming cybersecurity professional. The difference between cybersecurity attacks or cyber crimes and the motivations behind this and how we can protect ourselves from these cyber crimes attacks or cyber attacks. So remember two categories of cyber crimes: computer as target, or the computer is the victim, or computer as a weapon, computer aided crime. Cyber terrorism, intellectual property violation, unauthorized use of copyright, trademark, patented material. This is a very common thing, no, IP violation with the internet, with these torrent sites and other file sharing sites. The IP violation is very common within the internet. Then the credit card fraud, engaging in fraudulent activities involving credit card information, such as unauthorized transaction or identity theft. As I mentioned earlier, in United States, identity theft is the fourth highest number crime. Identity theft, very serious issue there. Electronic fund transfer fraud, illegally transferring funds from bank account or engaging in unauthorized electronic transaction. Try to remember these two categories and the common example for them. Computer as a weapon and computer as a target. Most of the time we are discussing these target related things. In penetration testing, vulnerability assessment also, we are focusing to these hacking technique, malicious programs and denial of service methods. So they are coming under computer as target or the victim. Computer is a victim. And here you can see completely different cyber crimes. Terrorism and fraudulent activities. Then here I had a little bit about history. The first incident of cybercrime is reported in 1834, before the modern computer age, no? The first cybercrime. The first incident of cybercrime is generally considered to have been occurred in 1834, nearly 200 years ago. 190, yes, we can say 190. When two thieves infiltrated the French telegraph system and stole financial market information. At that time, a lot of countries used the telegraph system. British, Britain, US, France, Italy, they had these telegraph systems to share information, telegrams. So in 1834, two thieves accessed this telegraph system and stole financial market information. The event is significant because it's marked the first time that criminal has used a new technology to commit a crime. A notable incident. The very first time criminal has used a new technology to commit a crime, because this is prior to the telephone, computer, all the modern devices, no? 1834 me. And first spam email took place in 1978 when it was sent out over the ARPANET, the predecessor of the modern internet. ARPANET, 1978. Modern internet came to the industry after, I think, 1990. So this is 12 or 13 years ago, 1978. And first virus came to the industry over the use in 1981, and it's created on Apple II operating system software and spread through using floppy disk containing the operation software. So the first virus is target the Macintosh OS, Apple II operation system, and they use floppy disk to spread the virus. So these are the historical information. I had a little bit history. Then if you go to the 2000, you can see first ransomware attack. 2000, year, if my memory correct, year 2000. You can go to Wikipedia or you can search it. So 2000, I can remember. Yes, the first ransomware attack. So on we can identify the significant incidents related to cybercrime. So history.
I think the AIDS one I have seen it was conducted through the floppy disk,
Which one? The ransomware one?
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Like it's distributed to the floppy disk, like who went for the conference of AIDS or something. So yeah,
yeah, um,
as I read
yeah,
one of the article.
okay. I forget to add that part to the lecture slide. So later I will modify this and I will add the ransomware part also, because now ransomware is a very keen topic, no, related
Yes.
to cybersecurity incidents. But other details are correct. Okay, I have
Yeah,
verified
yeah.
these critical information. The ransomware one I will verify again, because I also read a long while ago about that. So I'll check that one again and I will add it to the slide.
Okay.
Then the targets of the cyber crimes, the main victims of the cyber criminals activities. The first one is financial institutes, because this is a prime target. They are holding a lot of amount of sensitive data, such as credit card numbers, bank information, account information. Therefore, financial institutes are very hot target for cyber criminals activity, because now I think almost 90% of the persons using debit card and credit card, they have these cards. So if hackers can access to the financial institute and they can grab these card details and bank account information, they can use these information for fraudulent transactions. Then the government agencies are also popular target for criminals, because they also have access to sensitive information such as military secrets and state secrets, especially military secrets. Government agencies and businesses, I think every day criminals are trying to access the world top 500, top 1,000 companies, as well as other small medium companies. They are trying to identify vulnerabilities or some weaknesses of the system, or they are using the social engineering methods. They are trying to infiltrate employees, legitimate employees, to gain access to the system. Their end goal is to steal some valuable data, disrupt the operation of the business, so extort money from the business. The last one, extort money. How they doing this extortion part? Can someone explain? How cyber criminal extort money from businesses? Anyone? Because we already discussed it now. Extort money from businesses by conducting a cyber attack. What type of attack they are going to use to extort money? Anyone?
Ransomware.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Ransomware is the method they are using to extort money from the businesses. Because there are different type of ransomware. Some ransomware only encrypt very valuable files. Some encrypt a C drive or something of the computer. And some ransomware completely encrypt all available data of the organization. So then they can ask money for the registration process. Sometime it will be $1,000, sometime 10 million or 100 million. It depends on the company and the value of the data they have encrypted from that company. But most of time, if we pay their money, still we can't decrypt the value, because criminals are not going to share the decryption keys with us. So we can't guarantee that once we pay the money, they will release our data or not. So before, if you face a ransomware type of attack, don't just blindly pay for them. Okay. First think the value of your data they have encrypted from your machine. And if you have some sensitive information, it's better to encrypt them and upload to the cloud drive. That way you can protect them with the extra layer of security because you have already encrypted and uploaded. And individuals. Individuals can also be targeted by cyber criminals, and their main is to steal personal information such as credit card number, social security numbers, which can be used to commit identity theft. The main goal to attack an individual is to take his identity. So identity theft. Financial, government agencies, businesses, individuals, then critical infrastructure, power grids, water treatment plants, transportation systems, healthcare network. So recent time, ransomware has been used for these critical infrastructures. If you read the past 2 years notable cybersecurity incident information, you can see how many healthcare networks, transportation systems, power grids are attacked by the cyber criminals using ransomware. Gas line in 2021, that was a very serious gas line company related incident. Anyone know about that? One of the main US gas supplier got attacked 2021. Anyone? No idea? That means you never go to with the past cybersecurity incident information. The Colonial Pipeline incident, anyone read it? Colonial Pipeline 2021 ransomware incident. That also critical infrastructure in US. Then the educational institute, schools, colleges, and universities are increasingly targeted by criminals seeking access to sensitive students and staff data. Also, sometimes they are trying to figure out intellectual property information because some of the popular universities are having a lot of patents with them for the inventions done by their students as well as staff. They are the owners of the patent. So if cybercriminal can access the university system, they can see these patent document, other trade secrets. So educational institute also a prime target for cybersecurity related incidents now. Then the healthcare. In the recent time, a lot of United States healthcare organizations got attacked using ransomware, and the criminals encrypted the patient data as well as they have steal this data. and sell them to the dark web. Healthcare organizations. Their primary target is patient data, disrupt the healthcare service, or carry out ransomware attack on hospital. Disrupt means using distribute denial of service attack. They are denying the legitimate users access. Healthcare organization and non-for-profit organizations. Non-for-profit organization may be target for various reasons, including gaining access donors information and financial fraud, money laundering. Because there are some cases reported, some of the people are laundering money using these non-profit organizations. That means they indicate these as a donation, but they are laundering the money using non-profit organizations. Also, exploit the reputation of the organization to carry out social engineering attacks. So these are the primary targets for these cyber crimes. If you go to the a certain incident, you can see it is a financial one, a government agency, or a normal business, critical infrastructure, educational institute, healthcare, or non-for-profit. So if you go to information in beautiful, Grapho, or most notable cyber security incident report, you can see these organizations' information. These targets you can frequently read. Financial institutions were targeted, government agencies, and if you go to the Ukraine-Russia related cases, you will identify a lot of government agencies related incidents were reported from both ends, Ukraine and Russia. Because now they are in war, no? The cybers are there. And here I have listed down the motivations of the cyber criminal, the common motives of cyber criminals, why they carry out these type of attack, what are they going to achieve by completing these type of illegal methods with the systems, organizations, and networks. The first one is obviously financial gain. That's the main goal, financial gain. Many criminals are driven by the desire for financial profit. They are targeting individuals, businesses, financial institute, and other related organizations to steal sensitive information, conduct identity theft, or carry out fraudulent transactions, extort money through ransomware attack. So the main goal is financial gain, earn money by doing an unethical thing, financial gain. The second one is espionage and intellectual property theft. This one also very popular one. So they use these corporate spies, nation state spies to engage in cyber espionage to gather sensitive information, military secrets, government secrets, intellectual property, trade secret, and classified data. So then they can use this information to exploit political, economic, and competitive advantage. If it is a business, it will be competitive. Your company and the target one also doing the same type of businesses. So if you can find out some confidential information from that company. That means what we call this tender information, the price information. Then you know how much value you need to put your tender document. You have a competitive advantage. Then if it is a nation state related one, then it will be political and mostly economic. We can disrupt another country or another region, political and economic stability using this information we have identified. Sensitive information, military secrets. Then the hacktivism. I think you already know these things, but refresh your memory, because these are the common motives of the criminals who carry out these cybersecurity attacks. Activism. So here criminals engage in hacking or other cybersecurity activities, promote their political or ideological agenda. So here they are not going to gain any financially profit, okay? Financial profit. They are trying to promote their political or ideological agenda. They use government institutions, corporations, or organizations, and trying to disrupt these organizations, services, steal data, and debasement. One of the popular method activists use debasement. Gain the website access and change in the web pages content and adding few messages, pictures, and depaste it. One of the popular method activists use to promote their political and ideological agenda, defacement of a website, or spread propagandas. Activism. Then we have personal vendetta, revenge. If you have a personal vendetta, another person or a company, or think you are fired from your job. Now you have a personal vendetta with your boss. You have a planned revenge from the company. So then you might carry out these type of cybersecurity attacks. Personal vendettas. In certain cases, individuals with personal grudges, vendettas may carry out cybercrime to seek revenge or harm specific individuals, organizations, or even communities. This can include activities such as doxing, revealing personal information online, harassment, or spreading false information. Spreading false information. Harassment. State is sponsors cyber attack. The next one. I think I have already mentioned it here, espionage and intellectual property theft. So here also they conduct the cyber operation for political, military, or strategic reasons. And most of the time these are sponsored by national governments. The government is the behind within these cybersecurity groups who carry out the attacks. And opportunity attacks. Some cyber criminals exploit vulnerabilities and weak security measures to carry out opportunity attacks, and they cast a wide net of targets, vulnerable individuals or organizations without specific motives. So here they don't have any specific motive. They are trying to figure out which systems are vulnerable, which peoples are vulnerable for social engineering or any other attacks. Phishing, there are several methods under social engineering, and attackers seeking any valuable information or asset they can exploit it for financial gain. Opportunity attack. And the final one is the cyber warfare. And these days, there are a lot of discussion going on related to cyber warfare. If you go to Dark Read and other websites, you can see a lot of articles related to cyber warfare. This is related to Ukraine and Russia. In the context of international conflicts, cyber attack may be used as a form of warfare. State actors may target the digital infrastructure of other nations to disrupt services, sabotage critical systems, or gain an advantage in the conflict. So, if we go to 2007, in Estonia, they face a series distributed denial of service attack and crippled the country for several days. Because Estonia is the world's first country completely digitalized their systems. That means Estonia is a 100% digitalized country. You can do a lot of things using internet now in Estonia. In our countries also now, step by step, they are expanding the services. Prior to the COVID, we had this couple of these online services, but now if we compare with 2019 and 2023, a lot of new companies start business with this digitalized world. Cyber warfare target the digital infrastructure of another nation to disrupt services, sabotage critical system, or gain an advantages in the conflicts. Think if you can disrupt the services of a nuclear plant, what will happen? If you power up the cooling system, what will happen if you can power up the cooling system, or you can slow down it? Stuxnet in 2009, US used Stuxnet to slow down the Iranian nuclear plant's cooling systems. That's a virus. Okay? But now, using a lot of methods, you can carry out these type of what we call cyber warfare related attacks, because ransomware also there. If you can encrypt the controlling system related data, then you can disrupt the service of the system. So very serious issue, cyber warfare. So if you have time, please read it, because now this is a hot potato, this cyber warfare related topic. Each and every day I have seen a lot of articles, a lot of discussions are happening within cybersecurity forums, communities, because this is the next war. Cyber warfare. Any questions, doubts? All are clear? But please go through with this slide one more time once I complete the lecture, and read it carefully and try to grab the important information from this slide, because I added, I think, almost all the concept that you need to remember and you to know related to the computer crimes or cyber crimes here. And this is a detailed presentation. So by reading it, you can easily understand the targets of the cyber crimes and motivations. And here, this is the same thing again. Types: hacking, phishing, malware attacks. So these things you already know, so I'm not going to take more time to discuss same thing again and again and again, but you need to read this slide set one more time once I complete the lecture. Hacking, phishing, malware attacks, malicious programs. So the ransomware also come under these malware attacks, identity theft, online fraud, data breaches, denial of service attack, distribute denial of DDoS. So can someone tell me what's the main difference between DOS and DDoS? You have learned it, DOS and DDoS. Yes, anyone? The main difference between DOS attack and DDoS attack. Anyone know? Yes. No one know the difference between distribute denial of service and denial of service attacks? Yes. I'm waiting for your response. You can share me a message or you can use Zoom chat, WhatsApp group. Okay, so in denial of service, you are using one single computer to carry out the attack, using one PC. In distribute denial of service, we are using multiple devices to carry out the single attack. We are targeting the organization by using a large number of devices. So we can use botnet type of concept. We use a large number of computers, mobile devices, routers. Devices mean not only the computers, okay. We can use other related devices also to carry out distribute denial of service attack. IoT devices also possible. Internet of Things, because they can communicate the internet, they are having IP. Distribute denial of service attack. Social engineering is a technique used by criminals to manipulate individuals. So you are manipulating the human behavior and try to gain some important information in that person, revealing sensitive information or performing actions that may compromise security. This can involve tricking individuals through phone call. We call that phishing. Phishing is the name. If you carry out the social engineering attack using a phone call, then email, phishing, or impersonate to gain access to the confidential data or system. There are various methods available within the social engineering. So please read it and identify, because these informations are you have to remember, because later once you move to the industry, if you plan to do certifications from Easy Council or CompTIA or ISC SCAD or other vendors, you have to remember these things again and again and again. Almost all the certifications are having these cyber crime related content or malicious program, because they are having this asset security topics and other secure operation related topics. So you will see the concept again and again and again if you are studying for a professional certification. So please remember these things. And the online child exploitation, one serious issue in Sri Lanka. So we can hear a lot of related cases for these child exploitation in all production, distribution, or accessing child pornography, as well as engaging in online grooming or exploitations of minors. A very serious crime. In our country also, we can see a lot of cases. If you watch the news, recent time, you could identify several cases were reported for these online child exploitations. When conducting online lectures, you heard this, no? Using Zoom, teach us something to do. Yeah. So very serious case. Child exploitations. And cyber terrorism. Sorry. Cyber terrorism refers to the use of computers and internet to carry out act of terrorism. So mainly target critical infrastructure or government systems with the intention of causing fear, chaos, and economical damage. That's the cyber terrorism. Intention of cause fear, chaos, and economical damage. Cyber terrorism. And remember, cyber terrorism and cyber warfare are two different things. They might use same technique, but the end goal is different. Cyber warfare is a state-sponsored, a wide method. Terrorism can carry out by a terrorist group also. Or individual persons who can carry out terrorism. If he can disable a nuclear plant cooling system, then the meltdown is going to happen. Cyber terrorism. Then identity theft. Yeah, sorry, this is the previous one. Intellectual property theft, cyber espionage, extortion, and insider threat. Also, we can take as a type of a cyber crime, insider threat. Intellectual property theft, we already discussed. It's in all unauthorized reproduction, distribution, or sales of copyright material, trade secret, or patented invention. The patented document is a public documentation. Once it's approved, it will be a public document, patent, the invention patent document. So you can download and you can read it. Nothing will happen if you read it. So it's not a illegal thing, okay? It's a completely legal thing because patent, once the patent approved, document will be a public one, and the original the person who invent that device or the patent product will get 20 years to promote that. Okay, he can own it up to 20 years, so he can find a partner and he can start his own business, so he can resell the patent. Is up to the inventor, but the document is in public domain. But in trade secrets, all the documents are going to kept as a private document, trade secret, because trade secret are not public one. That's why it's called trade secret. The most popular one is the Coca-Cola recipe. Still, competitors couldn't identify exact amount ingredient mixer for the Coca-Cola. By reverse engineering, you will identify Coca-Cola contain these ingredients, but they don't know how much percentage they need to mix it to get the original Coca-Cola taste. That's why normally we call that Coca-Cola recipe is one of the oldest trade secret in the world. More than 150 years old trade secret. We need to keep it in a private place. In Coca-Cola company also, only 3 people know about the recipe. They have 3 different keys. You can read it. It's a very popular case. If you're interested, I will share a document later. I have a document related to the Coca-Cola. And I can share it with you. Then you can read it. And also, if we take this, okay, I will show you another document. Give me a minute. Here you can see it. So this is the Coca-Cola can that normally we can purchase from supermarkets, hotels, no? It's very interesting because this can contain all the IP rights. So this ring full, the ring that we normally use to open the can, it's a patent one. The Coca-Cola company is the one who invented this ring full cans. So it's patent here under their patent, okay? It's ring full one. And brand name is the trademark. Coca-Cola brand name, it's a trademark. And this can design, bottle designs are their industrial designs. And this image and the Coca-Cola word is their copyright. And the drink is the trade secret. So this can contain all the IP information, intellectual property information. Coca-Cola. Patent, trademark, design, copyright, and trade secret. Formula or recipe. Interesting, no? A single product contains all the IP rights. Patent, trade secret, trademark, design, and copyright. Later, I will share this document as an additional one. Then if you have time, please read it. It contains a lot of IP information, IP rights. One of the very interesting presentation done by a consultant firm a couple of years ago. I had the opportunity to attend live with this presentation. Interesting one. Online presentation. They are explaining a lot of informations related to these IPs. Here, this is the original patented document for Coca-Cola bottle because we need to draft the product. Yeah, original document. Bottle design. Yeah, the patent duration. Utility patents from the filing date 20 years. A design 14. Plant 17. Trademark, trade secret, geographical indications. I didn't add these things to your normal lecture slide because your syllabus not contain any concept of the IP, so that's why I didn't add anything more information to the lecture one, but I will share this additional slide, then you can go through with it. And also, I think I have already mentioned last year also in World Intellectual Property Organization, the WIPO, they are having e-learning training for intellectual property related concepts. So if you like to learn more related to the IPs, you can go to this site. It's called WIFO e-learning. Okay. Did I mention it last time? WIFO e-learning. Once you go to this site, because they are the one who officially handle these intellectual property rights and other stuff. So it's a will be a good place to learn if you are beginner to this intellectual property related concepts, because you are getting the training from professionals here, the people who handle these IPs and related concepts. So they are having this WIFO Academy distance learning program, online program. Okay, and currently they are opening for the registration for the next batch. Here, this is the course DL101, General Course on Intellectual Property. The registration is open and course will start 5th of July 2023. That means you are having more than 1 month to register. And this is a tutored course, okay? Each and every week they are having live sessions. If you have the time, you can attend the live. If not, they will upload the material. And once you complete and once you pass the final exam, you will receive a reputed certification from World Intellectual Property Organization. And this one is completely free. You don't need to pay any amount to complete this. Okay, free of charge. This is one of the very good course that available within the internet to learn intellectual property related concepts. IPs, copyright, trademark, trade secret, especially patents. If you have planned to become an inventor, then you need to have idea about patents. Module 7. You can register and you can complete this. Okay. Now let's go back to the presentation again. Trade secret. Lecture. Then cyber espionage, extortion, and insider theft. So remember, what are the types of computer crimes? Hacking, phishing, malware attacks, identity theft, online fraud, data breaches, denial of service attacks, distribute denial of service attack, social engineering, online child exploitations, cyber terrorism, IP theft, espionage, extortion, and insider threat. Clear? Any questions or anything you need to know about this type of cyber crimes? All good?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can pass me a message via chat or WhatsApp group, okay? If you have any doubts, question, or you need to know a little bit more about this related concept, or you need to know, you need to get any additional material from me related to these concepts, please pass me a message, then I will answer for it. There are more, and this one, cyberbullying. So here, they use these digital platforms to harass, intimidate, or humiliate individuals. And it involves persistent and targeted online harassment of victims through abusive messages, sharing embarrassing content, or spreading rumors. So cyberbullying can have severe emotional and psychological effect on victims. There are very serious cases reported for related to this cyberbullying, and couple of time victim suicide. Okay, person couldn't take it more due to the emotional and psychological effect due to this cyberbullying incident. Heinous crime, cyberbullying. In our country also, we have seen from the past data, each and every year, we can see couple of serious cyberbullying incidents using social media and other uh, chatting forum. Cyberbullying. Then cryptojacking. Recently emerged computer crime. Cryptojacking. Sorry. Cryptojacking involves hijacking other people's computers to process, to mine cryptocurrencies without their consent or knowledge. So if a third party use your devices to mine cryptocurrencies without your knowledge, we can call it as cryptojacking. They use Trojans or other malicious program to gain your system access. Then using them, they allocate your resources to mine cryptocurrencies for them. You are doing your normal day-to-day work within your computer, but the additional amount of computer resources are now used for mining process. Then you might face a slowdown of your computer, or you can't run multiple applications at once due to the remaining processing powers, because most of the computer resources are now allocated for mining of the cryptocurrency. Cryptojacking. Then online scams and cyber warfare. We have discussed cyber warfare. Then scam, fake job offers, romance scam, lottery scams, investment frauds. These are the popular methods. Lottery scams. You also might get in these type of SMS or emails by adding now you have won $10 million, you have won $100 million, and if you want to get the prize money, first you need to pay $100,000 or something. Lottery scams, fake job offers, investment frauds, online scams. So these are all coming under the types of cyber crimes. So later, please go to the information is beautiful site and or any other website that you can find that contain last 20 to 25 years of cyber related incidents, and try to figure out what type of cyber crime is this. Hacking or phishing or malicious program related one, data breach, a distributor denial of service, social engineering, intellectual property violation, espionage or insider threat, as well as bullying, cryptojacking, or cyber warfare. Okay. And the prevention methods, most of the time here, you can see security best practices again. So last year I have discussed with you what are the things that you need to use to protect your personal devices. We call it as security best practices. Preventing of cybercrime. The first one is use strong and unique password. So you can create a complex, strong password for your all online accounts and avoid using same password across multiple platforms. Especially never use same password with Google and other social media accounts. Google one you need to protect because most of the time you are using single email account to create all other social media or banking or your online profiles. So your email account need to be protected with strong and unique password. As well as if you are using online banking services, use a different password that you never use with your other online profile. And if it is a site is enable the two-factor authentication for their service, you can also use it whenever possible. And most recently, Twitter removed two-factor authentication from the free users. So are there any Twitter users here? Any Twitter users? So I'm a Twitter user last 10 to 12 years time. A month ago, I have received a mail from them saying that after 1st of April, they are going to remove two-factor authentication from my profile and ask me to remove my mobile number from their site because the cost cutting is happening there in Twitter. Because to generate these SMS messages, they need to spend a lot of money. We are getting the code as a free service from them, but they need to pay money for mobile service providers. So Elon Musk trying to reduce the additional expenditures from the company. So he removed the free two-factor authentication SMS feature for free customers. So we normally use Twitter as a free service, no? So still, if you want to use Twitter's two-factor authentication, you need to purchase their what we call subscription, Twitter Blue Tick, by paying a monthly amount. So if the website is available, the two-factor, please enable it. Facebook or Google or the banking application, obviously they are having this two-factor authentication now. When you are transferring money also, you need to receive a code for your mobile.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Like Twitter, even the SMS feature is not available, but I think the Google Authenticator two-factor is still available.
Yes, I'm talking about the SMS feature because most of the websites are still support for SMS feature. No?
Yes, yes, sir.
So now they have removed that function. Mean other companies also might
Yeah.
remove this feature in upcoming month or years.
Like
Because yes.
Apple charges removed.
Yes, that's the thing. Now the latest devices are not carry the charges, latest
Yes.
mobile devices, and also they are facing a serious issue from next year onwards. They also need to use universal charger. They can't use their these proprietary charger next year
Right.
onwards because European Union pass a act or something. All the devices that going to use it in the European Union country after 2024 need to have a single universal adapter. So now Apple also need to use the same Samsung or other Android chargers because that the universal charger means these Android chargers. That way a person can carry out one charger for all the devices. I think it's a good decision. If not, we need to carry out one charger for Apple devices and one charger for Android devices. Then the next one is the keep software and system update. So regularly update your operation system. That's the must thing you need to do. Either you have a Windows operation system or Linux operation system or Mac OS or Android OSs. Remember to update the software. You can enable automatic update when possible. That way, no need to manually update your machines. And use reliable security software. You can use antivirus or anti-malware solution for your devices and keep them up to date. Because now Mac OS also frequently targeted by these cyber criminals. Earlier, we had a saying that Mac are very secure. We don't need to have any antivirus solution for the Mac devices. But now, if you read the past 2 years incident report, you can see now Mac OS is also targeted by criminals using malicious program. They are figuring out new methods, new variants of these malicious program that they can use in different OSs. In near future, they might figure out platform independent things, okay? Because now these PDF related malwares are platform independent. It will impact your documentations that within the Windows OS or Mac OS or Linux. They are platform independent. And be cautious of phishing attempts. So be wary of suspicious emails, messages, or calls asking personal or financial information. And also avoid clicking on links or downloading attachment from unknown or untrusted sources. You need to be very careful when you are clicking some links or downloading attachment from the emails that you receive from unknown person or untrusted sources. Then regularly back up your data and be mindful of your social media privacy. Review and adjust your privacy setting on your social media platform. Control the visibility of your personal information. So you can add friends only mode or something. That way, you can protect your privacy from the social media profile. Educate yourselves and others. I think every time I mention this, educating and stay up to date with the latest cybersecurity incidents and threats. If you can remember, there are certain websites within the internet that can frequently refer news, dark reading, hack read, or you can use Twitter. So I think I have mentioned this other application also for you all. It's called Flipboard, the online magazine collector. Flipboard application. And secure the mobile devices that you are using for your day-to-day activities. You can update the devices. You can use strong password or biometric authentication for it, and Please download the apps from trusted sources. Mean every time please use App Store if you have to install a new application onto your device. Don't use third-party website. And be cautious when connecting to the public Wi-Fi network. And also, if you want to have secrecy, please use a virtual private network, VPN. And also you can protect your Wi-Fi network. And the first thing that you need to do is, once you purchase a new device, you change your default username and password of the router. And enable the encryption protocol. Now Web3 also support for latest routers. Web3, the latest version released in 2022. In the previous devices or older ones support for Web2, and the latest ones are Web3. And try to enable the firewall for your operation systems. Also, you can install additional host-based or hardware-based firewalls or intrusion detection systems for your company network. And limit the data sharing, especially if it contains any sensitive or personal information. Avoid sharing personal or sensitive information unnecessarily. Okay. If it is a most important task, you can share it, but use a secure method. But don't share your personal and especially sensitive information unnecessarily. And practice safe online shopping and banking. A lot of e-market websites are available in Sri Lanka as well as worldwide website. You might also use these things, but use a secure website with HTTPS indicator. Consider using payment method also, okay? And never save the payment methods on this website. Every time if you want to purchase thing, add the payment information. Again. And final one, report suspicious activities. If you encounter or suspect a cybercrime, report it to the appropriate authorities such as local law enforcement or cybersecurity response team in Sri Lanka Police. So, SSR Sri Lanka Computer Emergency Readiness Team. You need to report it. Must think. Okay, so these are the preventions. And this picture contains 2021 data. Top 20 victims of the world related to the cybercrime. Top 20 victims. In 2021, US was the most targeted country in the world related to the cybersecurity attacks. 23% from the overall cybersecurity incidents were reported from United States of America. Hacking, data breaches, ransomware. We have discussed the type of attacks. So 23% from the 2021 cybersecurity attacks happened in US, 9% in China, 6% Germany, 5% Britain, 5% Brazil. So you can see the distribution of the cybersecurity related incidents in the world in 2021. And next slide, I have added the origins of these particular cyber attacks. So this graph also contains data from 2021. Highest 10 countries of origin for cyber attacks. The earlier case, this is the victims, okay? And this graph contains, this graph contains the origin, the place who carry out the attack. In 2021, China was the country who carry out more than 20% of the attack in that year related to the cybercrime. The second one is United States, 17%, Brazil, 5.6%, India, 5.3%, Germany, Vietnam, Thailand, Russia, Indonesia, Netherlands. So this is prior to the Ukraine and Russia war. Now, if we check the last year data or first couple of months of this year data, this might be a completely different chart. Now, Russia might be nearly 10% or something, because each and every day we can see a lot of cybercrime activities related to Russia and Ukraine. Origin and the victims. So shall we have a quick break now, because we have discussed 1.5 hours now. So here I have listed down a couple of acts that mainly focus the security as well as cyber security related crimes. The first one is the popular Computer Crime Act number 24 of 2007. So this act is criminalize various cyber offenses, including unauthorized access to computer systems, unauthorized interception of computer data, and unauthorized disclosure of password. Computer Crime Act number 24 of 2007. But this one has a lot of loophole, because this was passed before the mobile smartphones or high-speed internet, and never amend this one, okay? After 2007, they never amend this with latest clauses on or any changes. That's why most recently they are trying to pass a new one called Cyber Security Bill, the new one for our cybersecurity related cases or cyber crimes and cybersecurity industry. Cybersecurity bill, most probably next couple of months they will pass it, and then it will become Cybersecurity Act number something 2023 Sri Lanka. Then we have Electronic Transaction Act number 19 of 2006. Provide legal recognitions and validity to electronic transaction and digital signatures in Sri Lanka. Penal Code. Anyone know what is Penal Code? This is the most important legal documentation in our country. Anyone know what is the single name for Penal Code? The most important legal document in Sri Lanka. Penal Code. You might heard the single term, not the English one. Single term is Dandaniti Sangraya. So this is the Dandaniti Sangraya, penal code. Certain provisions of Sri Lankan penal code such as section 386, computer related offences, and section 399, tampering with computer programs, can be applied to prosecute cybercrime. So remember, penal code, the first published in 1884 something. The primary documentation for legal, this contain all the sections in Sri Lankan legal system. You can read it if you Google it, penal code. Then we have Intellectual Property Act number 36 of 2003. This act protects intellectual property rights, including copyrights, trademark, trade secrets, and patents. And by reading this, you can see a lot of these acts came to the legal document after year 2000, no? 2007, 2006, 2003. So nearly, some are nearly 20 years old and some are 15 years. So in our country, prior to the 2000s, we didn't had any legal documents or legal frameworks to protect these things in a clear way. But now, one by one, government is passing acts as well as bills, and they are trying to protect the people's okay. Next one, the Payment Device Fraud Act number 30 of 2006. So make it a crime to use a payment device such as credit card or debit card to commit fraud, and this act provides for steep penalties for those who commit payment device fraud. Payment Device Fraud Act number 30 of 2006. And last year, we had this PDPA. If someone asks what is PDPA, you need to have idea. PDPA means Personal Data Protection Act in Sri Lanka. PDPA, short term. Abbreviation is PDPA, same as GDPR. Here in Sri Lanka, we call PDPA, Personal Data Protection Act, number 9 of 2022. Last year, March, they have passed this in Parliament. Personal Data Protection 1 is a comprehensive piece of legislation that set out a number of important protection for personal data in Sri Lanka. We are the first country, South Asian country, to pass a Data Protection Act. India is still preparing their one, not published yet, or asked by the Parliament. We already passed it, our one. That is designed to ensure that personal data is collected, used, and stored in a lawful, fair, and transparent manner. And acts also give the data subject a number of rights to control their personal data. Data subjects are the users, end users. Okay, as an end user to a certain Sri Lankan website, now you have number of right to control your own personal data. If you want to delete your data from their website, you can easily ask from them. Then, according to this Data Protection Act, they need to remove your personal data from their servers. Still, this one is not implemented by all the organizations in Sri Lanka, but when it comes to 2024, if any business in Sri Lanka who handle the personal data from a Sri Lankan person, need to implement this one. and they need to follow all the rules set by this particular act. If not, they are going to pay hefty fine. This other document, I have added the fines and other stuff. Once I complete this lecture one slide, so I will explain more details about this Data Protection Act for you all. Final one, the cyber security bill, the one that I mentioned earlier, still not passed by the parliament. There might be some changes. So, but this will be one of the critical legal document that we are expecting to pass by the government to protect our nation from cyber security threats and incidents. And using this, government is committed to protect the country's digital assets. So let's hope they will pass this, and this will become a legal framework. Okay. And finally, the conclusion. Now we are listening to this cybercrime related concept with me. What is cybercrime? Then type of cybercrimes, computer targeted crime, computer aided crime. Then we have looked the motivations or motives of cyber criminals to carry out these attacks, type of cyber crimes, then organizations they are normally target for these type of attack. We have talked about motivations, type of cyber crimes, prevention of the cyber crimes, and a little bit about cyber laws in Sri Lanka. And finally, the conclusion. So completely eliminating cybersecurity or cyberspace may be a difficult task because each and every day criminals use new technologies, new ways to figure out vulnerabilities and system access. So we can say it's very difficult to eliminate cybercrime from cyberspace, but we can mitigate the occurrence through various measures. We can implement security best practices within our organization, within our businesses. That way, we can reduce the occurrence of these various cybersecurity incidents to our organization. So we can create awareness sessions. We can educate people about cybersecurity best practices, potential risks, and consequences of engaging in illegal activities. Okay. And also legislation or the cyber laws play a significant role in addressing cybercrime. Implementing and enforcing cyber laws is essential to deter criminal and provide a legal framework for prosecuting offenders. So we need to have up-to-date and regular revisions cyber laws to prosecute these offenders. So we need to regularly revision it, and we need to stay update with the industrial changes. So this is the conclusion. So remember things that I have discussed within this lecture, then you will identify the importance of it. So later when you are reading an article, if you see a certain attack, then you can remember this is a computer target crime or aided crime, and this is a hacking related incident. So this should be computer targeted crime. that will try to narrow down the information. Any questions from the lecture one, the one that we have discussed up to now? All are clear? The slide is already uploaded to the Cal page. You can download the slide by accessing the subject page. But please go through it one more time and remember each and every slide, because I added all the informations you need to know, and in a simplest manner. Okay, I didn't use any complex word to discuss these concepts within the slide. Okay, you can easily understand by reading it. I spent a lot of time yesterday to prepare this slide, the newly created one, and I added the latest information also to the slide. Questions? Anyone? Okay, then I will move to the next slide. So this is an article that I have written a couple of years ago, but yesterday I edited it and add the latest content to it. So, computer crime in Sri Lanka and related laws, the article. So the beginning of the article, background, motivation. We have already discussed the motivation concept and background. Then little bit about statistics in Sri Lanka. According to the computer crimes reporter, mainly they are financial fraud, abuse, hate, privacy violation, phishing, scams, malicious program, unauthorized access, intellectual property violation, and social media related incidents. So according to the latest SSR annual reports, we can see in our country, social media related incidents are the number one in computer crime. Social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, then again these chatting applications, all are under social media incidents. So in here, this is the number one highest rated crime related to cyber security. And computer crime in Sri Lanka keep up increasing every year. According to SSR, the computer crime rate has increased up to 4,733% from 2008 to 2014. Particularly, fake account crimes have increased nearly 0 to 2,300 accounts. This is 2008 to 2014. You can see the percentage, more than 4,000 increase during the 2000 and 2014. Then in 2020, this is the last publicly available SSR report. Okay, still they then publicly reveal 2021 data and 2022 data. So there are no publicly available resources to gain that information. Because of that, I added 2020 information. So number of cybercrimes increased more than 100% since 2020, because with the COVID pandemic, digital infrastructure Sri Lanka is completely changed, and now we have more internet users and more devices to connect to the internet. Because of that, the incident number also increased. And still, the most common type of cybercrime in Sri Lanka is social media fraud, which account for 97.4% for all cybercrime. If you can remember 2020 data, there were more than 16,000 reported cyber security incident related to social media. That means 97.4 point of all cyber crimes in 2020. Other common types increased in Sri Lanka: financial fraud, phone hacking, and ransomware. And average cost of a cyber crime in Sri Lanka is 1 grand, means $1,000. These are actual statistics. The most valuable sectors cybercrime in Sri Lanka are financial, government, and education sectors. And here, the informations we have discussed. And if you think you have been victim to cybercrime, you should report it to the police and to the search. So remember it. If someone asks from you, they are facing this type of incident and this type of thing happened to them, then you should encourage them to report it to the police or SSR. And again, the Computer Crime Act number 24, 2007. Here I have added detailed explanation of the act. So if you have time, please read it because these are out of the scope of your syllabus. Okay, in your syllabus, there are no section for cyber law. Therefore, I didn't add this additional information to a official slide, this one. I just add the names of that's it. But the additional document contain detailed explanation about the legal acts and other convention informations. Please read it. Yeah, the things that you need to know and the fines in unauthorized access offense. The fine is 100,000 rupee or less than that, and the imprisonment 5 years or less than that. Unauthorized access in order to commit an offense. You can see the fine and imprisonment time. Yeah, I added some fines and imprisonment for certain crimes, computer crimes in Sri Lanka. According to the Cyber Computer Crime Act. So once the cyber bill passed, that particular act also contains certain fines and imprisonment time. So later I will share that new information with you once that particular act available within the internet. Offenses and penalties. And also here under this act, there's a section for power of search and seizure with warrant and right of certain persons arrest for offenses under. Okay, these two are available under this act, Computer Crime Act. Power of search and seizure with warrant and right of certain person arrested for offenses. Then intellectual property one, number 36, 2003. This is mainly governed by the IP rights, patent, trademark, trade secret, industrial designs, patents. You can see. And also Sri Lanka is a member of following multinational convention: the Paris Convention for Protection of Industrial Property, Berne Convention for Protection of Literacy and Artistic Works, and the Patent Cooperation Treaty and TRIPS Agreement. TRIPS Agreement. We are a member of this multinational convention, and all these are related to intellectual property. Paris, Berne, Patent Cooperation Treaty, and TRIPS Agreement. Then the Electronic Transaction Act number 10 of 2006, and mainly covered by the domestic and international electronic commerce related transactions. And the last is contract of sales or conveyance of immovable property or any interest in such property. Power of attorney are explicitly excluded from this electronic transaction. So these type of documents are not covered under electronic transactions. Last is contract of sales or conveyance of immovable property or power of attorney are not covered under electronic transactions. Other than that, all other electronic transactions are going to be covered by this document, Electronic Transaction Act. Then we have payment device fraud act number 30 of 2006. This act mainly deal with legal background to create a safer environment to pay through credit card, debit card, and other devices of electronic payments. Read it, okay? And Evidence Special Provision Act number 14 of 1995. This is the Evidence Act. According to this, computer mean in Sri Lankan legal system is any device that function of which include storing and processing of information. This is the computer according to our legal system. Any device that function of which includes storing and processing information. So due to this definition, smartphone also computer in our legal system. Any device that function of which is include storing or processing information. And digital evidence, all are, you can read it. Then the PDPA, Personal Data Protection Act number 9, 2022. On March 18, 2022, Sri Lanka enacted the Personal Data Protection Act, thereby becoming the first South Asian country to enact comprehensive data protection legislation. The law is modeled after, so we are mainly use GDPR as the reference model to our PDPA, okay, General Data Protection Regulation. Most of the content is they got from the GDPR in European Union one. And 2 days ago, GDPR celebrated their 5-year anniversary. In 2018, European Union published the GDPR. So 2 days ago, that means 25 of May, they have celebrated their 5th anniversary. If you see last week, latest information related to computer related incidents, European Union fined Facebook $1.3 billion due to the privacy violation, because they have transferred European countries' user account information across Atlantic Ocean to the United States. That's the issue Facebook had with European Union. They have unintentionally transferred European customers' information to the US servers. So EU fined Facebook $1.3 billion using GDPR. In Sri Lanka also in near future, once this Personal Data Protection Act available for all the organizations, so we need to be very careful. And another thing is, this particular act is only valid for businesses. Okay, if you are doing a business, you need to stick with this personal data protection act. Only for businesses. I added that part here. Notably, the act applied here to businesses and does not apply to personal information process purely for personal, domestic, or household purposes by an individual. Okay, if you use the personal data for personal usage or household purposes, if you use your uh, family information for some household purposes, it's not come under this PDPA because not business. So this particular one is only applied for businesses, not for the personal purposes. It's very important. Okay, this sentence. And like GDPR, PDPA apply for all the businesses, small or large or any business is going to apply. And also smaller companies subject to the law, they should very careful about the compliance cost because this might be a very costly process to apply this to the organization when they implement it, because they need to audit the company first. So for the auditing, they need to have ISO 27001 or any other audit framework first. That way they can identify what are the issues they are having within the organization, and after that they can apply this PDPA for their organization. So it's a very costly process. So if your business is a smaller one, you have to be very careful. You need to consider the compliance cost first before applying for this PDPA. And also, if you didn't apply then you can't do the business by using customers' personal information. Think you are doing an online retailing website, the e-market, then if you couldn't implement PDPA after the deadline, you can't use customer information. That means new customers can't register their information with your website. If someone complain, you are going to fine. Okay. And I added definitions also. It's a detail. I added more, lot of details to the documentation. You can read it. And these are the data subject. So these are the users' choices. Right to access, right to withdraw consent, right to rectification, and right to erase. So you can ask to erase your personal information from the website, right to erase. These are the data subjects permissions. And penalties. So authority will assess the impact of data subject and nature of the extent relevant non-compliance when considering penalties. So the authority will impose penalties up to 10 million rupees. The maximum penalty according to the latest published PDPA Act is 10 million rupee for each non-compliance. If you couldn't properly implement the PDPA, and then it will be an non-compliance. So you might fine up to 10 million rupees. 10 million rupees penalties. Then cybersecurity bill. These are the most notable features that available within the cybersecurity bill. They are planning to establish a Digital Infrastructure Protection Agency in Sri Lanka. Agency. Once this particular bill passed as an act, we can see a new agency in Sri Lanka called Digital Infrastructure Protection. So they will vested with the authority to implement a national cyber security strategy. So now our government is planning to establish a national cyber security strategy. Still, we don't have a national cyber security strategy. So by implementing this Digital Infrastructure Protection Agency, they are trying to create a national cyber security strategy. Then they are trying to specify the powers and function of Sri Lanka Computer Emergency Readiness Team. And they will act as a coordination center and point of contact for cyber security incident and provide reactive cyber security services in event such incident, as well as being proactive in preventing such incident. So they are trying to increase the responsibilities of Sri Lankan CERT, and they are going to give more power to the Sri Lankan CERT once this particular act passed by the parliament, and also enabling designation of critical information infrastructure is another point come under with this bill. And final one is penalties. So later the official acts come to the public domain. I will share it with you all and with the summary, then you can get the idea what type of changes might happen to our cybersecurity industry and cybersecurity legal system once it's available. And finally, the Cybercrime Convention or Budapest Conventions. We are part of Budapest Convention, and we are the first Asian country who become a part of this Budapest Convention, or we can call it as Convention of Cybercrime. I added some basic information to the article, so you can read it. So these are additional information, but very valuable as a cybersecurity student who are learning these cybercrime related content. So you need to have a little bit idea about these laws and regulations of the country. And finally, specialized institution. This one also very important because you already know about SSR, Sri Lankan Emergency Readiness Team. Apart from that, there are several organizations in Sri Lanka who handle these computer crimes related cases. The first one is Cybercrime Unit in Sri Lankan Police, under Criminal Investigation Department or CID. In CID, they have a unit called Cybercrime Unit. Okay, the Cybercrime Unit conduct investigation into pure cybercrime and cyber-enabled crime, either with the allegation reported to them directly to their unit or report from district police officer elsewhere within the Sri Lankan police. Victim of cybercrime may also make criminal allegation using e-report form available from the Sri Lankan police public website. This is the Sri Lankan police cybercrime unit under the CID, Criminal Investigation Department. And they have a fully operational digital forensic lab, and on the competency of the number of police officers that have been certified professional digital forensic analysis, because normally Sri Lankan police, they are sending these officers to India to gain the digital forensic training, hands-on trainings. I personally know because I have a couple of friends there, so they told me that frequently they are sending their officers to gain uh, these hands-on experience, how to conduct forensic investigation, how to analyze certain content, especially this now these CCTV related investigations and the mobile device related investigation. Recently, they have done couple of trainings for this type of newly emerged digital forensic areas. Then protection of children's undertaken by two agencies in Sri Lanka. We have earlier discussed is online exploitations of children. So first agency is Child Protection Agency under the National Child Protection Authority (NCPA), and second one is Children and Women Bureau under the Sri Lankan Police. So if you have, or if you have seen any incident that involve children, please report these type of crime to these two organizations, National Child Protection Agency or Children and Women Bureau under the Sri Lankan Police. Lama Kanta Katitu. Okay. And there's a centralized unit for investigating economic crimes or financial crime in the Financial Crime Investigation Division in Sri Lankan Police. That another division, Financial Crime Investigation Division. They will carry out investigation into serious financial fraud, misuse of state asset or funds, cases that require intellectual skills are and complex in nature. So these cases require a lot of intellectual skills and complex in nature. So they have trained staff for this in Sri Lankan police. Some of time they might be civil peoples to carry out these investigations. And skill of computer science UCSC in University of Colombo also having a digital forensic investigation lab. They have started in 2011 and also playing a key role to assist in Sri Lankan police and criminal investigations division with the these digital forensic investigation activities. UCSC Computer Forensic Lab. And there's no specialized prosecution department for dealing computer crime in Sri Lanka. Okay, in our legal departments, any case may be allocated to any state prosecutor, and there is no special training program in cybercrime available for state prosecutors. And cybercrime prosecutions are always held in high court before judge and are not heard before jury. So all the computer crimes are here in high court, okay? Not the district court or other courts. They use high court for cyber crimes, and they are not going to use any jury for this. Okay. I hope that's clear for you all. A bit about computer crime and what is it and other related information, cyber laws in Sri Lanka. So before I move to the assessment information, do you guys have any questions or you need to know any additional information related to the concept that we have discussed up to now? Questions before I explain about the assessment one. So how is it interesting or this computer crime one lecture? Have you learned some interesting stuff or new information by attending to it.
Yes, we have learned like local security informations like
The
these
cyber laws.
local
and
legal.
no?
Yes, yes.
Yes, you need to have idea because as a cybersecurity person now, your colleagues, your relations, or sometimes you might ask these things from you. Then you need to have idea, no? If they face some serious issues or if they know their friends or colleague had the issue, then they will contact you. These things happen to me frequently. My friends or my relations, they are contact me and asking, these things happen, these things, then what they can do, what type of actions they can take. So you also need to have idea now as a cybersecurity person because they are expecting these things from us now. If they know we are in cybersecurity industry. So please remember, especially this latter part, the specialized institute in Sri Lanka related to the different type of computer crimes. Okay, now I will explain the assessment. So assessment, you need to select 10 most notable cybersecurity incidents from last 25 years time. You can use world information as well as Sri Lankan one. Then you need to do a detailed analysis of it. If you take eBay as the example, 2014 one, you need to do detailed analysis of it. So you can eBay hack, data breach 2014. Then you need to explain a little bit about the background and what who is the one that carry out the attack. That means attackers information. If you can find out, then you need to list down that information. Then the specific time period they have carried the attack. Then how much of damage happened to the organization due to the attack. So please do a detailed analysis. Then there should be 10 attacks. Okay, 10 cybercrime incidents. You can do Google search, you can use Wikipedia, or you can use ChatGPT, Bard, anything, but don't copy from another person, okay? You need to use your own report. Each individual need to have their own work. So you can use any resource that available, internet, podcasting, recording information. So somehow you need to add the reference to your claiming. So you should get a report for this. Is that clear? No? Yes, okay. So 2 weeks enough for this, so you need more time. Today, 27th of May, 2 weeks mean 10th of June. Is that enough for you? You need more time. I can go up to 17th if you want additional week.
Yes, that's better. Like
Okay. So then I will enable the submission later. And remember, deadline will be 17th June. That means you have 3 weeks time to prepare this. So try to pick incident that contain more information. Then you can easily prepare the documentation. If you go to with the most notable attacks, you can find out thousands of resources. A lot of blog post article, Wikipedia article, Medium article. There might be video discussions, podcasting, or you can use ChatGPT and Bard to generate some AI generate outputs. But create your own report because I'm not sure about the current in usage of your university. Okay, how much of percentage you can have for your continuous assessments. I need to discuss it with your internal staff, but try to reduce plagiarism and have a good assessment output for the first assessment. So if you don't have any questions or doubts, I think now we can stop the first lecture. But please go through with the material that I have shared. I think all the lecture slides are available within the Cal page now. And later, I will upload the recording and you can watch it back. Then if you have any questions, issues, please pass me a message via WhatsApp group. And next week, it will be penetration testing part. So you all are familiar with that pen testing activities because we have actually done a lot of pen testing related activities last year. So you can remember the things you have learned with me next time. I hope everyone will be there. And so let's resume the session next Saturday. Okay, so thank you for all your participation. Have a good weekend.